Hi, I'm KT Bud Jones, Atocha Golden Crew member and author of Coins of the Lost Galleons. I'm going to take some time today to chat a little bit about these coins that we've been finding on shipwrecks off the coast of Florida. Because of Mel Fisher, the interest in shipwreck coins has exploded. Right now, everybody wants to own a piece of history. And there's a lot to know about these coins if you're entering into owning one for yourself. They're gorgeous pieces of history, each one unique in themselves, every one of them handmade. And this is from the 1500s, mid-1500s to the late 1600s. These coins are all handmade, rolled out from a silver bar from the mines of Potosi or Mexico, and then chiseled into about the right size, put on another die on top of it, smacked with a hammer real hard. That leaves the imprint that you see here, and then weighed and then chiseled to the proper weight by the fellow who left his mark on there. And we're going to talk about that, the Assayers Mark. Each coin should have had, ideally had, these markings on them. These are the dies that would have been made at the time, each coin having the shield of the king, as well as the cross on the backside. The outside would be Philippus III, Deo Gratias Hispinarum. On the reverse side is Indirum Rex, et Indirum Rex, Anno, and the date, if it was a complete coin. But the coins often weren't completely flat and perfect. They're like grandma's cookies, and each one was individual, and some were fatter, some were thinner, some were wider, some were skinnier. And so when the assayer, who left his mark over there on the side, the M, would weigh the coin, if it weighed too much, he chiseled off the excess. And where he chiseled it off wouldn't be a mark. Often that was around the legend, and in this case, maybe up near where the date was, which would be 1617, which is the first year Potosi coins were dated. And so you often don't see a date on the coins. And you might not see the P or the name Philippus or any part of the legend, because each coin was unique in itself and wasn't perfectly flat and symmetrical. When that's actually where the term chiseler comes from, is someone who chiseled off too much. In this case would be the M assayer. You see the P for Potosi. Over on the right-hand side is V111 for the denomination. This is an 8 real. On the coins themselves, which I'll show you some pictures of, the real coins, that V11, which is a Roman numeral, has a bit of a flair to it, and it's the Arabic version of the Roman numeral. On the back side is the Crusaders' cross. It has the castles of Castile, the lions of Leon. And each of these characters stand for a country that the king was in charge of. As you can see here, we have Castile, Leon, Granada, Aragon, Naples, Sicily, Austria, Burgundy, Flanders, Tyrol, Brabant, and the Low Countries, all having their own section of the shield, representing what the king was in charge of at that time, what his dominion was. As that changed, as his influence over those areas changed, so did the shield get bigger or smaller. And eventually, as you'll see in the 1715 fleet, the fleur-de-lis become huge, because Philip V was Louis XIV's grandson, and he was Bourbon king versus Habsburg, and so those fleur-de-lis got a lot bigger. And often there'd be reversals of the castles and lions, as well as some of the parts of the shield. They would be switched back and forth because these were all hand done. A couple of good examples of these coins, though not perfect like today's quarters. They're pretty round and pretty inclusive of all their markings. You can see the one on the right is an 8 real. It's got a P and a Q, the P for Potosi, the Q for the assayer. And over on the right-hand side, you get V111 and a little circle above it. That's that Arabic version of the Roman numeral. And over on the left-hand side is a 4 real, and it's got a P for Potosi, an M for the assayer, and it's got 4 little dots over there on the side with the circle above it. the flourishing of the Arabic version. You can see there's little inconsistencies between each of the shields on here, because they had to keep making shields over and over and over again because they wore them out. Backside, you can see the Crusaders' cross. You've got the castles and the lions on both of them. This is where you often saw differences, often saw reversals of the castles and lions. They would be in the different quadrants, which I think makes the coins a lot more unique. This is not a coin off the Atocha, but supposedly the die for this 50 real coin was found on the Atocha. And what's unique about this is an old world die. And we know this because it has the Portugal shield of arms right in the center, sort of up on the top, between the castles and lions, and right there. And that is only for old world coins would have this. This coin has the mint mark of Segovia on the left-hand side, but it's beautifully struck, and you can see all the detail in it for that particular reason. And also the old world coin die was used on the Santa Fe de Bogota coins that were just being made when the Atocha was about to set sail. So around 1621, the Santa Fe de Bogotas were being minted for the first time. Their proof set, or some of the very first batch, was being sent back to Spain. They didn't have their own dies yet, so they used the shield, old world shield, like this shield with the Portugal in the middle. And all of them were lost on the Atocha, so there was no evidence of it until we found the Atocha in 1985. And here, this beautiful castle and lions. The detail is exquisite on this particular coin. And years later, you're going to see some royals out there that were perfectly struck and made. They're going to have this kind of detail on them. Now, this is really what the coins look like when you find them. That's me holding up 2 silver coins found on the bottom, covered, blackened silver sulfide and calcareous incretion. When they're found individually, they are very heavily encrusted like this one is. But, and on the main pile, we found silver coins. You can see here, one in the hand, Sid's hand, and one of the silver bars. We found a mountain of silver bars, a reef of silver bars, 40 feet long, 20 feet wide, 5 feet high of silver bars, and thousands of coins, never knowing or expecting that many to be found in one spot. Some of the coins, like this one, have been broken out of their chest, but we also found intact coin chests. I believe over a dozen intact coin chests were found. Open the lid, and inside were coins as they were packed. Now, the outside coins would be encrusted, but the inside coins, as you open it up, would be in perfect shape, being protected by the outside ones and the silver sulfide that was building up around them. We even found them with the covers still on them. No, they didn't have a lock on them. The treasure chests, they were nailed shut with square nails, but they were intact. The wood's still intact after all of those years, protected by the silver bars around them. Sid and I and another diver are working at excavating a pile of silver coin chests and silver bars right here, working to uncover them and then to do the archaeology to map where everything was found in situ, where we found it, so that we had a record of where everything was and where it was, not only in history, but where it was on the main pile as well. This is an example of that. This is in the back of the coin book and shows a little bit of where all the coin chests, silver bars, some of the other artifacts, as well as some of the wood structure that we found on the Atocha main pile. Now, there are a lot more coins out there than just Atocha coins, but that seemed to be, this is a lot of what the interest in coins these days is because of the Atocha. Bringing up the first coin chest lid. Said before, we never expected to find intact coin chests. It was a huge surprise to find that much organic material that had survived. And so knowing that we had that, we had a lot more material that was going to be in good shape. And then after taking the wood off of it, because it had been quite sodden, we would bring it up in these large crates that we had made. Originally, when we first found the main pile, we really didn't have anything, so we just borrowed shopping carts, took them out there. They didn't last very long, but they were handy to bring things up. And of course, the excitement of finding treasure never gets old. These are some silver bars and silver coins that were just found. Note that they are blackened from the silver sulfide and will be cleaned up to look terrific once we get back into port. All of the coin chests and silver bars all stacked up out on the deck, ready to go back in. That was an issue for us. We had to make sure we spread them out on board the ship so we didn't tip over. I mean, it changed the center of gravity of all of our workboats, having all this silver on board. So we had to spread it out to make sure that we remain balanced. This is what a coin chest looks like without the wood around it. You can see all those little cookies fused together. Outside ones aren't going to do real well. They'll be your grade 4s, maybe even fragments, but inside are going to be the farther inside they are, the better they're going to be. Like this one. This is just a lovely Mexican coin, as you can see. Beautiful Mexican. You can see the OM for the Mexico Mint, the F for the Assayer. You can see on the cert next to it, underneath it, the unique cross, which has balls on the end of it. This is an important point. Your coin needs to have a certificate of authenticity. That paperwork gives that coin value, gives its provenance. Otherwise, it's just a piece of silver. So don't go losing your certificate, and don't go buying a coin without one. Some of the more coins, you can see a Mexican on the left-hand side and a Potosi on the right. The right is a 4 real, and left is an 8 real. Lovely, that 8 real is gorgeous with the beautiful castles and lions. Lovely cross. You can see the detail there. And a bit of the Hispinarum up on the top. These are Sid's and my coins that we got the first coins that we found. Mine's on the left. It's one of the biggest 4 reals I have ever seen. Beautifully struck early on. It's probably a Philip II. Sid's is an 8 real. This picture doesn't do it justice. It has a beautiful cross and shield on the side. And then, of course, we have here on the right is a 1715 fleet gold coin with the unique cross, the scissors cross that we call it. You can see it looks like little scissors or ribbons in between the bars of the cross on the back side, on the reverse side. These, though, are gold coins from the Atocha and Margarita. And these are old world gold coins. There were 4 Santa Fe de Bogotas found. Sid found one, I found one, a couple others were found. There are certainly less than 200 gold coins found between both Santa Margarita and the Atocha. I'd say less than 150. They keep finding a few here and there, but these were found all in one trip. It was a great trip, small little 2 escudo coins. Here amongst some other unclean coins, and these are 1715 fleet coins. And there is, you can see that Philip V shield that has the predominant fleur-de-lis in the center. And then over on the side is it looks like a Potosi Lima or Potosi coin over on the side there that's got 4 real, that's got the pillars and waves. Lots of different styles that are emerging during the 1715 fleet era. This one in the front here with the 3 fleur-de-lis is a Mexican. The one over on the left is a Potosi. And it looks like the gold coin in the middle there is a Santa Fe de Bogota. Well, thanks to Mel, we've been able to have quite an adventure, and happy to share it with you. Hope you got a little bit out of this. If you need more information about your coin or a coin that you're going to get in the future, Coins of the Lost Galleons is available at our website, which is www.atochatreasureadventures.com. And also Sid's book is available. That is a as it happened account of what it was like to be part of the Golden Crew, to look for and find this great treasure and this great adventure in our lives as well as others. So if you want more stories, please join us, and we'll see you on our next YouTube presentation and share with you some more pictures and some more stories. Thank you very much.